All right, let's talk about the news. We have got ourselves a world's first situation. A new era of Guild Wars 2 communication, because not only are we getting an expansion today, they are also releasing the full roadmap for the entire year for Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, essentially laying out exactly what's dropping in every single update. We kind of knew this already, but they're very explicit with exactly what is dropping in each of the quarterly updates. And more so, the next expansion is coming out next year. We've already started applying lessons from SOTO development to our 5th expansion, which we expect to be released next year. ArenaNet are committed to this new cadence. They really want to deliver all of this stuff. That, you ask me, is very, very exciting. Like, they're really going for it here. They want to deliver this new model, get this consistent content out there. And this means that we're going to get an update every 3 months with a lot of major content. And then 3 months after the final update, we're going into the expansion again. We kind of already expected this, but now we have it all but confirmed. And that's pretty exciting. And of course, there's all these updates here. This is just the major updates. There's going to be other things as well. And actually, one thing that I'm particularly excited about, I love this. Check this out. Right at the bottom here, they are bringing back bonus events as well, actually. Look at this. So, we've got Skills and Balance, as normal, Halloween Festival, World vs. World update, yeah, Alliance is soon TM, am I right? And the return of bonus events, similar to those we ran in the wake of Guild Wars 2 End of Dragons, which, by the way, they're talking about, Season of the Dragons here, which is weird. I think they might be doing, they might even be thinking about running another free Living World thing, like Season of the Dragon style event. In addition to, like, the bonus, it's like Fractal Rush, Boss Rush, all that kind of stuff. That's actually pretty cool. I remember that time. Even though the game was basically dead while we were waiting for the expansion, the game felt really exciting and alive, actually, because there was a new thing to log in and do every week, even though it was literally go to a map and chop some trees. Honestly, stuff like that is fun, even if it is relatively mundane. So that's actually very exciting to hear, actually. That's really cool. I think this could make the game really... to be boring, it'll make it feel pretty alive, right? There's always going to be something to do, log in, go somewhere, everyone's playing together. I really like that feeling that everyone's in the same place, and that's like real classic MMO feel. But anyway, more on that later. Let's actually go ahead and dig into exactly what is going on. So, the paragraphs up here, they're just basically explaining the format, essentially. We're getting the expansion dropped, then we have these 3 quarterly updates with additional features. But, what is in those features? So, number 1. Look at this table, it's huge. What's dropping on expansion? And this is going to be now. In fact, you might be watching this, and you might be thinking, wow, the expansion's out, what's actually in it? So, live now is the story, no surprises there. 3 maps, so Skywatch Archipelago, Amnitus, and then the Outpost, bit like Arborstone, essentially, like where you can just, like, go into the strike missions and stuff like that. 2 strike missions. Cosmic Observatory, Temple of Phoebe. Weapon Master Training. This is not new weapons. This means that you can use the Elite Specialization weapon on any build. This is a mastery that you're going to have to unlock, though, I believe. We have other masteries. We have Heart of the Obscure Research, Flight Training, and Astral Ward. So it looks like this actually might be an expansion feature rather than a mastery, because these are the mastery tracks. Although, I don't know, maybe it's to do with that. Who knows? We don't know yet. Wizard's Vault is being introduced. New daily system. Dailies, they're gone. Well, most of them are. They're being replaced by a new system that will kind of funnel you around various areas in the world to complete tasks, to get a currency that you can buy anything. You can buy laurels, you can buy mystic coins, you can buy skins, you can buy random stuff, you can buy mount skins. A variety of things. Pretty cool system, actually. Again, it will direct players about the place and allow you to pick the objectives that you want from whatever game mode. PvE, PvP, or World vs. World. Especially a really fun one is that one of the World vs. World objectives is doing the Obsidian Sanctum jumping puzzle. So enjoy getting ganked by 50 thieves as you try and get that one done. 2 armor sets, Rift Hunter and Astral Ward. These are important, by the way, as you are going to need to unlock these in order to get the Legendary Armor. They've already confirmed this. You need these for Legendary Armor. So you can basically start working on Legendary Armor day 1, even though it's not coming out until later. Relics, 40 core relics and 12 from the expansion. This is basically kind of replacing the 6 bonus on your runes. This is essentially vertical progression. All of your characters are going to need one of these relics because it's going to be very powerful, very impactful. You will definitely want these. So make sure that when you log in, figure out what relic you want and make sure you equip one because it is going to be an important part of your character. And then Rift Hunting. Yeah, I mean, this is actually the one that I think is actually a little bit sad because Rifts I think they're going to be a bit underwhelming on launch. It's basically like, oh, wow, you know, you kill a bunch of trash mobs, then a champion spawns. Wow. But hey, you got to grind it for legendary armor, so hey, we're going to be doing it anyway. And here's where things get exciting. Update number 1. More story. The new map drops immediately. I actually like that. We're basically getting map content with every update. You can see as the updates progress, we extend the map, then they complete the map. I'm hoping there's like a massive meta event that maybe they drop on the final update. Kind of a bit like, you know, a story concluding meta event will be really cool. Strike Mission Challenge Mode. That's cool. And actually, one thing that I like about this, you know, we'll break the form. We're not going to read them in order. Check this out. 1 piece of challenge mode content per update. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. You know, there's going to be some good pacing there. There's going to be a reason for players who are looking for that challenging experience to log in every single time. For every one of these updates, there will be something that is engaging for these players. I like that. That's actually very cool. I like that it's not all dropping at once almost. Like, spreading it out, I think, is actually quite good. And it means that you have these kind of multiple hype moments for players. And it also kind of lends itself to some natural progression almost. It means that, you know, teams can progress through the first strike, and then they'll have a bit of downtime, then the second one will drop, then they can progress again, then you can do the same thing with the fractal, which is pretty cool. New mastery line. So they're going to be doing like they normally do with Living World. There'll be some new masteries. We don't know exactly what that's going to be yet, but that will be extended as the updates continue every couple of months. Wizards Vault Caesar Refresh. So basically new rewards. Wow, very exciting. And they're doing that every update as well. Another armor set. You'll probably need that for the armor, and that might even be almost like the precursor armor that they end up dropping. We'll see, although that might be Obsidian armor tier 1 and tier 2. So this seems like this is actually going to be very similar to how the PvP and World versus World armors look. You'll notice here it's tier 1 and tier 2. That says to me that you're going to be able to like upgrade the appearance of them. So the legendary armor drops in update 2. Right, that's going to be here in update 2, about 6 months after launch-ish. And then you're going to upgrade it in update 3, going up to our tier 2, which will be like, I guess, a flashier, cooler version. So if you just want to get like the legendary functionality, you could just do tier 1. And if you want to do tier 2, that's when you can make it look even flashier. And again, this is open world legendary armor, the first of its kind. It's probably going to damage the raid scene a little bit, but hey, listen, you know, I actually think open world legendary armor is pretty cool. We absolutely love to see that. Oh yeah, in update 2, we also get new weapon proficiency for each profession as well, which is actually, this is going to be really cool. This could be very impactful. I think most notably we have like warrior staff getting dropped into the mix, which is, you know, hopefully we get some heal builds, but this could be really big, very impactful. It's going to be very unusual actually to have update 2 almost be as impactful as the expansion in terms of your gameplay. In fact, it might be more impactful to your gameplay experience than the expansion. That's going to be weird. We've always had big gameplay changes reserved for expansions. That's no longer the case. This update halfway through the cycle, yeah, this is going to be massive. Completely new builds, new strategies, new ideas, and even new archetypes for certain professions. When you have like stuff like Elementalist Pistol adding into the game, Mesmer Rifle, we have Guardians getting Dual Pistol, I think, Warriors getting Staff, Thieves getting Axe. Loads of new ideas can come into play from that can really fill some of the holes in roles to get some of these builds fleshed out to really help them develop further, which is pretty cool. And then on the Rift thing, this one, I wish this was dropping on launch. I bet they wish they could have done this as well. So starting from update 1, look at this. Convergences, rifts that are public or squad groups like Dragonstorm with legendary enemies, so like tougher versions that you can play as a squad. That actually sounds really cool. I love this massive style content like Dragonstorm. I think it's really enjoyable. And I think a lot of players enjoy that as well. It's a real shame this isn't dropping on launch, in my opinion. As I think this can be a really fun activity to do with your guild and just kind of organize. It's like a meta event that you can do anytime you want. Like, again, very similar to Dragonstorm. Real shame. I really hope that they are a bit of like a meta event theme. So it's not just like, oh, fight the big boss. It's got a bit of complexity to it. Like, it's got some coordination and group play into it. Sounds really interesting, actually, in this regard, actually, when it comes to this convergence idea. Very interested to see how that one plays out. And then basically for the rest, they're just going to add new legendary enemies. That's actually cool. They're adding like new bosses basically to these things that hopefully are relatively exciting. I imagine that will be in Convergences too. And then the maps are going to be added to the rotation. So the way this is going to work is that rifts are going to be attacking various areas of Tyria that will like rotate round over time. And I think this can be anywhere in the world, funnily enough. It can be core maps, it can be expansion maps, which is actually cool. Because what this means is that players are going to be like drawn into various areas of the world. So you're seeing like new maps all the time, core maps, expansion maps. I think that will actually be cool. I really like it when the game has this kind of dynamic element to it. I think we can all remember, I think the game has a system like this already. I don't know if any of you remember this. This is only for like really old people. Do you guys remember when you would do like map farming depending on the map bonus? So maps, especially core maps, basically have like a reward track, and the more events you do, it gives you loot. And in the core maps, it would basically rotate around tier 6 materials. So people would always do the map that rewarded tier 6 blood, because tier 6 blood was really expensive. So every single week almost, you would actually have like a different farm map that would be optimal. So every map would be optimal at different times. So the game almost like had this inbuilt variety to it. And I think this is what the Rift system is trying to add into the mix, right? So you have like some automatic variety. So it's not like the same map that's optimal for farming every single time. It will actually change over time. I think that's a good idea, right? You know, I'm about that, to be honest. I think that's a pretty cool idea. And this, of course, they're pushing this further because they're bringing these bonus events back, right? So it looks like there's going to be maps that are going to have special events on them that you'll go for. Maybe they'll bring back the Living World stuff and you can kind of get that for free, or at least be able to access that in some way. Yeah. Sounds cool if you ask me. Another thing that's happening that's cool, check this out. They're adding new relics. This is one of the things that I think was really missing with Ender Dragons. No new runes. But no, they're actually committing to this relic system. There's going to be new relics with Update 1 and Update 3. Legendary Relic comes with Update 2. So this is the Update 2 is massive. Mark your calendars. This is going to be a colossal one. Oh, I wish this was on launch because, man, it's going to suck having to manually update my relic for every single character permanently for 6 months. That is going to annoy me, but hey, what are you going to do about it? Like, we'll get the Legendary Relic in Update 2, so we have got that. We've got that going for us, I suppose. But yeah, that's basically the roadmap for the entire year. And again, Update 3, 3 months later, we're going back to the start. We're dropping another expansion. I've got to say, that's very exciting if you're a Guild Wars 2 player. This is going to be a lot more content than we're used to, by the way. And let me explain why. You might be thinking, wait, isn't this kind of the same, or like half? Yeah, but Guild Wars 2 expansions have typically had like a year content drought before them and a year after, right? And they haven't maintained multiple game modes. So if you kind of include the content drought on both sides in the expansion model, this is actually a lot more content than we actually have historically. It's probably like 1.5x the amount of content we're used to. In terms of Guild Wars 2. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. The only thing that you're probably going to notice is I think you're going to get less overall open world maps compared to Season 4 specifically, because you got one map every single time. But to be honest, as long as they deliver like a really good quality map, I think this is fine. Like if you look at the Icebrood Saga, there's some pretty cool maps there. I think Bureau Marches in particular is a really cool story map, and you got that in 2 pieces, right? So if they can kind of replicate that, I think quality is better than quantity. Like you end up with Corner, right? Like the lamest map ever, like a bunch of maps that honestly suck. And aren't really that exciting. You know, Bitterfrost Frontier. Wow, crazy map, huh? Glad we got that instead of iterating on something that already existed. So you might end up with a few less maps, but honestly, it won't be that many less maps because, again, you can't ignore these kind of droughts that typically happen before and after Guild Wars 2 expansions, especially if you consider that they're also going to be doing stuff like balance considerations and also trying to get fractals out the door. Like, there hasn't... Since Silent Surf... how long was it? It was like 3 years for one fractal. So yeah, like if you think about it, like they're trying to give a pretty even spread, so players of all types and all interests are going to have stuff to log into the game for. So I think this is a really, really cool thing. I'm particularly excited for these convergences. That sounds really cool. And also new relics. That's great. There's a lot of gameplay features here. New weapons, weapon master training, new relics to play around with. Legendary relic, right? Convergences, new legendary bosses dropping, strike mission challenge modes dropping, final map getting iterated on over time. Please don't do Gaia Delves. I beg of you. I beg of you. Please have mercy, ArenaNet. But yeah, this looks pretty tasty if you're a Guild Wars 2 player. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna be eating well, if you ask me. And yeah, of course, we also do actually have some other stuff as well, just the usual. We got the Halloween bonus event. There's going to be a balance patch. Yeah, they're going to need one after the expansion drops. Believe me, things are going to get crazy. Get ready for 60k DPS. It's going to get wild. Goodness gracious me. It's going to get busted. And of course, we have the birthday coming up. Yeah, we do. We've got the anniversary. And what's funny about this is that judging by the current model, every single anniversary, there's going to be a new expansion for Guild Wars 2. So you get your birthday present and you also get the expansion as well. Isn't that fantastic? I mean, who knows? I don't know what they're going to give us. I think someone said maybe they'll give us like an infinite utility, like the birthday cake, except it's utility. That would actually be really good, by the way, because that would mean that all players in open world would maybe be running around with the birthday cake and maybe a utility birthday cake as well. I actually think that would be cool, so that players get introduced to that system as well. But yeah, ArenaNet, they are committed to this. They are big committed to this new model, and I think they've got some great ideas here. They really, really do. I hope they're able to maintain this. I hope they're able to continue the implementation of this style of content release and this content model. I think this is a huge win for the game if they're actually capable of pulling this off and maintaining this. And I think part of their goal here is sustainability. It is trying to make it so they don't like have these droughts. They don't have these times where they aren't able to maintain multiple gamers, where they aren't able to maintain the game and keep things going as, you know, as they would perhaps want to. Yeah. And I think it's great. Like, this type of communication is actually very hype as well. Like, I think they've really learned from looking at other MMOs and how they handle communication. We know exactly what's happening for the next 9 months. That is unprecedented for Guild Wars 2. That's almost never been the case, in my opinion, previously. We've always been guessing, especially when it comes to releases of stuff like challenge mode content and like combat system updates. We've always been in the dark on that. So I want to say really, really well done here to ArenaNet. Like, I definitely respect this type of communication. I absolutely do. I really do. I wish we'd heard about convergences before launch. They just randomly dropped this on us. And I hope they actually show some of this stuff off. Like, they're saying here, they're doing a beta event before the end of the year for the new weapon thing. Actually super cool. That's going to be really fun to look forward to. Show me convergences. That interests me. I wonder if this is like insane cope, but I wonder if they would ever do like challenge modes, because this is instance content, right? This is like a public or squad thing. I wonder if they would ever actually stretch to maybe adding like a hard mode, even if it was like the boss has more health or has like one extra attack. That would be really exciting. I love the one thing that I really enjoyed about Ender Dragons was like learning Dragon's End with the entire community and trying to beat that. I think Guild Wars 2 has this magic potential to have, you know, almost like the magic of an old school MMO with 40-player raids, but in a way that's like makes a lot more sense and isn't just annoying to deal with. And I think this is something that Guild Wars 2 could really leverage to its advantage, and maybe with these convergences we could actually see something really interesting kind of going that way, because like, I admit it, I do like a good 40-player raid. It's how I actually view a lot of open world events in Guild Wars 2, is these kind of massive open world raid, like group raid experiences. So I think maybe there's some potential here with like, they've got a public version that could be easier, a squad group that could maybe be a little bit harder, right? Even have a challenge mode. That's cope, I admit that. You know, you should not take that for granted. You should not even think that's going to be the case. But yeah, that's just me coping there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that is the news. That is very, very exciting indeed. Let's go slay some demons. Get ready for the return of Demos 2. He's got no hands, but he has 2 giant wings or something. Wow, very scary. Terrifying stuff. Absolutely terrifying. Expansion launch story Masters, 2 explorable zones, strike missions, Wizard Vault, relics, webmaster raid, rift hunting, runes, system streamlining, and new adventures. Collections and achievements, unique armor pieces, weapons, gifts, miniatures, emotes, and more. Yeah, I mean, yes, and new emotes. Key headline feature there for your MMO expansion. Pretty cool image here that we got going on there, but yeah. That's it. We have the news, and I guess I've just put myself out of a job for the next 9 months, because you guys know the news for the, you know, forever now. The good news is they are going to talk about these things in more detail with blog posts, so I guess I'm actually still good to go, right? I'm still allowed to actually say something on this channel. But anyway, let me know what you think about that. And of course, if you're watching this post-expansion launch, let me know how it's going as well. I'm very interested to hear what everyone is thinking, and what's everyone thinking about the future of Guild Wars 2 and how well we think all of this is gonna age. But anyway, that's it, gamers. Subscribe on YouTube, like the video, leave a comment, and bear in mind, we've got Twitch drops going right now. So in addition to buying the game using my referral link, oh yeah, you could also go and watch the stream and farm some epic rewards and watch the stream on Twitch. I'll be going to be streaming like a degenerate 12 hours a day for the entire week up until Sunday. There'll be a big tea time on Sunday, of course, where we're going to break down exactly what's going on in the expansion. I'll be like a shell of my former self. I'll be essentially a festering corpse, drained of all life with all of the streaming, but I never shut up when it comes to talking about my opinions, so I will certainly be letting everyone know what I think about Secrets of the Obscure on Sunday on Tea Time. So anyway, watch the stream every day, follow, subscribe, comment, join my Discord, join Hardstuck Discord as well, where you can, I don't know, flame the game or say that the game is good. It's entirely up to you, I guess. But anyway, that's it for now. Enjoy the news, enjoy the expansion, and I'll see you in game. Take it easy, gamers. I'll see you next time.